but Sayoung smiles and grabs her hand. In his mind, he says, "Be my colleague, Manager Kim." Sayoung's mom says, "Honey, I think Sayoung really likes you. And my husband and we don't know anything. Please help us secure Sayoung's future." Hearing that, Myung smiles softly. "Because of you guys, I'm starting to dream again. I'll do my best as your manager." Sayoung's mom hugs her. Sayoung thinks, "Welcome, Manager Kim. Let's go make some serious money." Myung laughs. "You will pay me, right?" Sayoung says, "Of course, I'll give you everything, honey." Myung jokes, "This doesn't feel right." Then we're shown a terrace where Sin Sung Jung stands. An employee approaches him and says, "That woman claiming to be the manager, her name is Kim Myung. She used to work in advertising, and she's the landlady of the house where Sayoung's family lives." Young grins. "Landlady, huh? What a weird little team. If they won't come under me, I'll show them just how harsh this industry really is. Call the reporters." The scene shifts. We see Tae-young saying, "Stop! What are you doing, Michael?" Michael's busy eating bananas with Sayoung. He says, "I like bananas too, but you all only give them to Sayoung." Michael turns to Sayoung and says, "Hey, seriously, how much are you going to eat?" Sayoung, annoyed, thinks, "I'm eating more just so you can't have any." They start fighting over bananas, and the whole team bursts out laughing. Jaeyoung says, "This is too much now, Michael." But the two boys keep arguing. "Oh," Tae-young says, "All right already, just stop." Scene shifts to the director, who says, "Great job with the morning shoot, everyone. Let's take a break for lunch." We see Sayoung's parents, and the director walks up to Sayoung's mom and says, "Isn't it tough waiting at the shoot site?" She smiles. "Not at all. Even after all these months of shooting, it still feels exciting and fun." The director says, "But in your condition, if you ever feel unwell, please let me know immediately." Sayoung's mom thanks him. The director asks, "By the way, when's your due date?" She says, "Pretty soon, sometime in December or January." Then the director says, "Also, about Michael. The viewers really love his bickering with Sayoung. Their mental age seems the same. They're like Tom and Jerry." He laughs. "Sometimes I feel like Michael goes a bit too far. I hope it doesn't bother you." Sayoung's mom smiles. "I trust you. I enjoy watching them squabble too. It's actually really entertaining." The director says, "Got it. I'll keep that in mind. And as always, thank you." Myung, standing nearby, watches Sayoung's mom with quiet admiration, then walks away. Meanwhile, Tae-young and Byung are tired and heading to lunch. Tae-young says, "No matter how many shoots we've done, I still can't get used to this." We see Sayan lying around, his stomach stuffed after eating way too many bananas. He says, "Man, after eating all that, I'm starting to feel a little sleepy." Suddenly, Michael shows up behind him and snaps, "You rude little brat." Sayan gets a little startled. Michael asks, "Did you seriously hit me the other day, you little punk?" Sayan gets annoyed and thinks to himself, "You're hilarious. But seriously, I've had to deal with your real personality. People think it's just some cool bad boy act, but online people are calling Michael immature. Just some guy jealous of his new sibling. Others are saying, I bet he acts the same even when the cameras are off." Someone else comments, "Sayan and Michael's live streams are actually pretty cute and funny." Sayan, now getting irritated, thinks to himself, "You're really crossing the line these days. I've got my eyes on you. You need to learn a lesson." Michael laughs. "What's with the anger, you crazy kid?" Then he pulls Sayan's cheeks. Sayan starts tearing up and thinks, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Michael shrugs. "Hey, quit crying. I didn't even pull that hard." Just then, Myung walks in. Seeing her, Michael instantly tenses up. Myung asks, "Did you just pull Sayan's cheeks?" Michael stammers, No, it was nothing. He's just making a fuss over nothing." Myung replies calmly, "Seon doesn't get mad or cry for no reason." Sayan grins inwardly. "Well done, my manager." Myung continues, "I've noticed that during recent shoots, you've been picking on Sayan a lot. Please stop that." Michael flares up. "Are you threatening me? And why are you so protective of that little brat anyway?" Myung responds, "A little brat, huh? You do realize it's because of Sayan that you even landed a bunch of commercial shoots, right?" Michael gets embarrassed. Myung adds, "So please try to act a bit more professional and stop laying hands on a child. I trust you understand now." She takes Sayan with her and walks off. Michael stands there fuming. "I came to Korea to become a true artist, not a damn babysitter for some brat. Sang is ignoring me. The rest of the members just keep staring like I'm some villain. All because of that stupid chili sauce incident." he mutters. This whole show sucks. Is there any way I can sabotage this thing? I'd be successful without it anyway. Just then his phone rings. What? He snaps. I'm busy. Make it quick. But suddenly his eyes widen. Sinsung Entertainment? On the other end might be none other than Sinsung Young, who also has a grudge against Sion. The scene cuts to the massive MBC building. The director addresses everyone. Thanks for coming to today's special production meeting. Despite his busy schedule, Parong made it. And Sion's family, who's become like our own, thank you too. Before the meeting begins, the assistant hands out bonuses. Ming smiles, and of course Sion, being the little greedy guy, lights up too. The director continues. Last week, our ratings finally crossed 30%. Higher-ups are really starting to like Sion. We're close to the final episode now, so please keep up the great work. Taeyong is counting his money while CEO Piso stares him down. The director says, now, on to today's topic, the Christmas special episode. He explains, Christmas is coming up, and there's been a request for a 90-minute family-themed special. We wanted to really capture that warm, festive atmosphere. Turning to Sion, the director says, you've been walking and running more lately, right? Sion stands up and thinks, I've been training every day, walking and running without any excitement. That's exactly what I've been saying. The director goes on. So Sion and the other Just members will be in Christmas costumes. There'll be a party, dancing, should make for some great footage. Looks like everyone likes the idea. Let's talk details. Just then, the assistant director rushes in, panicked. We've got a problem. A newspaper article just came out about Sion's family. They all look at the paper. The headline reads, Just Baby shows child star Sion Jeon book exploited for work by greedy parents. Then the scene shifts. We're shown a news segment where people are talking. One guy says, I've gathered the biggest and most important news of the week. In the first story, well, everyone in the city is talking about it. The child actor from Just Baby, John Seong book, his family's controversy. A woman sitting next to him says, yeah, that article was really disturbing. It said Seong's parents were exploiting him. The man replies, exactly. The article had no real evidence, but the public's very concerned for Seong. Then someone turns off the TV. It's the director. They were all watching the news together. Seong's mom looks visibly upset and nearly in tears. She says, what are we supposed to do now? The director tries to calm her. Don't worry, there's nothing to stress about. It's just a cheap rumor trying to interfere with a successful show. That kind of thing is super common in the broadcast industry. Mi Young adds, I'm going to find out why this article got published in the first place. Si-young stands up and says loudly to the director, it's true, right, director? The director looks a little surprised by his tone. Before Si-young can say anything more, his dad pulls him back and says, this kid's being disrespectful now. In his mind, Si-young thinks, negative public opinion campaigns, they eventually turn into power. Whoever's behind these articles is targeting us for a reason. We need to figure out what they want and stay one step ahead. That's the only way we'll win. Si-young glances at the director. In his mind, he says, with your connections in the industry, director, you're the one who has to act. The director understands what Si-young is trying to say and responds, Si-young's right. Since this all started because of the broadcast, it's the responsibility of the network and me to handle it. Si-young nods. You made the right call. The director continues. There are probably reporters lurking outside right now. It might be a bit stressful, but I suggest staying home and even taking a break from coming to the set. Si-young's mom looks shocked. But then, what about Si-young? Mi-young steps in. I'll take care of him. Hearing this, Si-young's mom feels relieved. The director smiles and says, that's good. I trust you, manager. Mi-young responds, leave it to me. Oh, and director, I need to talk to you about something. The director adds, don't worry too much. I'll try to resolve this issue quickly. It'll be okay. He steps outside the house where the assistant director is waiting. She asks, Director, did your conversation go well? The director replies, that article, it said that an insider claims Si-young's parents show up at every filming site and interfere in everything. The assistant director stays silent. The director says, feels like we've got a traitor among us. Is it you? You did something similar during auditions. The assistant director panics. No, I didn't do it. After that day when you nearly fired me, I stopped all that stuff. The director starts thinking and mutters, then who could it be? The scene shifts to a city street. A man is making an announcement. Let's help our neighbors in need and celebrate Christmas together. Up ahead, two girls are talking. One says, White Christmas is the best, right? Just then, we see a mysterious figure sneaking around. The girls notice him. Who wears sunglasses at night? One says. He looks suspicious, the other says. Is he cold or what? He's all wrapped up. Suddenly, they hear a sound from a stroller. That sounded like a baby, one girl says. The mysterious man whispers, Si-young, stay quiet. Maybe we shouldn't have come out. I promised the director we'd stay home, but I just felt so restless. I needed some fresh air. Turns out it's Si-young's mom. She pulls the blanket off Si-young and says, I was just walking to meet my husband after his work. Just a short walk. That's fine, right? Then she gently tells Si-young, I know you want to walk on your own, but we can't let people see you. Just wait a little longer. In his head, Si-young fumes. Riding in a stroller at this age is the ultimate embarrassment. This is humiliating. Let me walk already. Meanwhile, the girls continue chatting. One says, did you see this week's episode of Just Baby? Si-young's mom listens carefully. Yeah, that Christmas special was amazing. Taeyoung's Santa outfit was adorable, and Si-young as Rudolph was so cute. But baby snowman Si-young, he was unbelievably cute. Like I just wanted to squish him. I honestly live for Just Baby every week. Then the other girl adds, but now it's ending soon? That's so heartbreaking. Total shame. Si-young's mom smiles softly. Si-young in his mind says, well, you've got good taste. But then one girl says, hey, did you read that article? Si-young's mom gets tense. Yeah, there's a new one, more detailed than before. It says Si-young's parents are greedy and he acts too mature for his age. The other girl laughs. I mean, the kid's barely turning 3 next year, but he does seem unusually smart sometimes. In his head, Si-young rages. They're saying this stuff about young Si-young's brilliant direction and acting? The light turns green. The girls walk away. Si-young's mom looks sad. That's when her husband shows up and says, Si-young's mom, you came all the way out here in this cold just to meet me? I told you it wasn't necessary. But then he notices something's off. Si-young's mom, are you crying? What happened? Si-young watches and thinks, so even the general public is starting to buy into these rumors? That's dangerous. We need to come up with a proper solution for this. Scene shifts. Si-young's dad, angry, starts yelling at the director. That's enough. I've had it. I'm the head of this family and it's my job to protect them. The director responds, I'm really sorry. We tried everything we could to keep the reporters under control, but it seems like the public's interest in Si-young is just too strong. The rumors are still spreading. Si-young's dad says, but we can't just sit back and let it happen. We have to do something. The director says, I think the best move is to face it head on. Si-young's dad asks, face it head on, how? The director replies, if you both agree, would you be willing to do a live interview? The next scene shows the date, December 31st, outside the MBC building, where the Just Group is located. Daeon says, hello, we're the new standard in the music industry. We're Just, and this is Si-young. He's holding Si-young and says, playing with little Si-young, I didn't even notice the year is already ending. So let's enjoy today's special year-end compilation episode of Just Baby. Then we see the assistant director saying, the broadcast for this episode has started, so we should start too. She adds, you made a smart move. There's nothing better than an interview to clear up controversy. That's why celebs hold press conferences. And since everything's calm on set, there's no need to stress. For now, just relax. I'm gonna go do one last equipment check. As she leaves, Si-young's dad starts crying and says to his wife, I'm sorry, So-young. So-young, surprised, asks, for what? Si-young's dad says, your due date's coming up soon. You're already going through so much, and I think I just added to the stress. She replies, no, it's not like that. This is for Si-young, and I want to do this too. You were really cool today, stepping up like the head of the house. Hearing that, Si-young's dad smiles and hugs her. But before they can really settle in, Mi-young walks in holding Si-young and says, are you two ready? Si-young looks a little disappointed and thinks, I thought you two were the quiet, shy kind of parents just trying to get through things. And now suddenly you're doing a live interview? It's not bad, just why all of a sudden? He's confused. His mom picks him up and says, you look so handsome today, baby. Just trust mom and dad. We're going to make sure all those nasty rumors go away. Hearing that, Si-young gets emotional and asks, wait, are you really doing all this for me? Then he hugs his mom tight. Mi-young and the assistant director watch, smiling. The assistant director thinks the director is at the gate, So she goes to open it and says, all preparations for the interview are done. But she sees something that shocks her. In the next scene, Daeyeon and the assistant director are rushing down the hall in a panic. Daeyeon asks, "What are you saying? A live interview?" She replies, "Well, we were going to calmly address all the rumors, but out of nowhere, all these reporters showed up. Someone leaked it. We've got a traitor in the team." She was shocked earlier because she'd seen the reporters. Daeyeon pushes through the crowd and makes his way to the director. All the reporters start recognizing him. "That's the leader of Just! That's Daeyeon!" Daeyeon says, "This has to stop. Even I get nervous around this many reporters." But the director says, "It's already started. I did everything I could to stop it. But now, there's no turning back. They're here, and they're not leaving." Cut to Seyoung's parents surrounded by the press. Reporters are shouting, "Look here, why are you doing this interview? Was that article true? Please respond." Seyoung looks anxious. Seyoung's dad raises his voice and says, "Please calm down. My wife's in her final stage of pregnancy. Lower your voices, turn off those camera flashes. I'll answer your questions if you speak calmly." But one reporter cuts him off, shouting, "Oh, really? Then tell us why you're making such a big scene." Seyoung's dad responds, "You all know about the article that dragged our family's name through the mud." Then he continues, "Yes, it's true. My wife and I both grew up in an orphanage. We had nothing. And when we left that place, we had no one but each other. We worked day and night to build a life. We're proud that we've lived honestly." Now, earlier we knew Seyoung's dad is a chef at a restaurant, but now we also find out Seyoung's mom works too, attaching eyes to dolls. She gets paid almost nothing, like 10 won per doll. Back to Seyoung's dad, he says, "A neighbor was the one who discovered Seyoung's talent. That's how this journey began. And now, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, we are not the kind of parents who'd make our child suffer for money. Please stop spreading lies that hurt our family." But that same loud reporter yells again, "Why should we believe you? How much money have you made from your son? Show us your bank account. We need proof." Okay, seriously, this reporter needs to chill. Seyoung, hearing all this, gets angry and climbs down from Young's lap. He says, "Enough! Stop bullying my mom and dad." In his mind, he's raging. "Shut up, you jerks, that's what I want to say. But I can't yet." He's still just a little kid after all, so he can't pronounce everything right. But even then, the reporters are shaken seeing him like that. Kang gets emotional watching him and says something to the director. The director then says, "We're ending the interview now." Daeyeon tells the assistant director to cut the live broadcast. Seyoung turns to his dad and asks, "Are you okay?" His dad hugs him tight, emotional. Seyoung thinks, "It's all right, Dad. You did your best. You're kinda cool, actually." Then he looks at his mom and asks, "Mom, are you okay?" But his mom looks like she's in pain and says nervously, "Seyoung, honey, I think I'm going into labor." Both Seyoung and his dad panic. The next scene, they're in an ambulance. Seyoung's dad is holding his wife's hand, freaking out. "Just a little longer, honey. We're almost at the hospital." Seyoung looks worried. His mom says, "I'm okay, Seyoung." But in his mind, he's thinking, "No, you're not. You look like you're in real pain." He's screaming inside, "What am I supposed to do? I don't know anything about this stuff." Truth is, Seyoung has no experience with marriage or babies, not in this life or any past life. But still, he thinks, there has to be something I can do. Please, Mom, hang in there. The scene shifts again. The director and assistant director are smiling and say, "He's so cute." And we see Seyoung, now holding his new baby brother. Everyone around them is filled with joy. The assistant director says to Seyoung's mom, "You went through so much pain. How are you feeling now?" Seyoung's mom replies, "I'm okay now." Then the assistant says, "I used to think, could there ever be a baby as adorable as Seyoung? But Mingguk's right up there too. Maybe it's because their parents are just that beautiful." That's when we find out Seyoung's baby brother's name, Mingguk. The assistant director reaches out to touch Mingguk, but Seongguk quickly slaps her hand away, not letting her touch his little brother. In the sweetest tone, he says, "No, you can't touch the baby," and thinks to himself, "Don't you know you shouldn't carelessly touch little kids? Go wash your hands first." The assistant director laughs. "Look at Seongguk, already acting like a big brother." Seongguk, thinking to himself, says, "Why not? In my past life, all my siblings were useless." Then looking at Mingguk, he smiles strangely and says, "But I'll raise you right." Then the doctor turns to Seongguk's dad and asks, "Can we film a video of Mingguk and Seongguk?" After that broadcast, the public went absolutely crazy. All over the internet, everyone's talking about Seongguk's family. Some are asking about Seongguk's mom, others are angry at the reporters, and many are curious about Seongguk's siblings. The director says the comment section's completely blown up. Seongguk's dad agrees to the video shoot, and the assistant director starts recording. Then the dad asks the director, "What happened after we left?" The director replies, "There's nothing you need to worry about anymore. Everything's been taken care of. We even caught the traitor." We're taken back to a scene from earlier. Byun and Taeyang have Michael cornered. Taeyang demands, "What is this, Michael?" Michael replies nervously, "That's my pager. Where did you get that?" A pager is basically a device that sends voice messages. Taeyang continues, "Strange things have been happening. Things only the staff or people on set would know are suddenly showing up in articles. Even interview questions that not even staff knew about. Reporters somehow found out." Michael looks panicked. "Still," he says, "So what? What did I do?" Taeyang says, "Well, your behavior's been pretty suspicious, like disappearing in the middle of a shoot. That's why I asked Lux to keep an eye on you. And thanks to that, we found out about your connection to CEO Samjeon Young." Turns out, Seongguk's manager had already been suspicious of Samjeon Entertainment's CEO. All those reporters who posted those nasty articles, they're all connected to Samjeon Entertainment. And Michael's pager had voicemail numbers that matched Samjeon's contact list. Taeyang and Jaeyoung both get furious. They say, "Getting involved with a creep like him just to mess with Seongguk's family? What the hell were you thinking, Michael?" Michael freezes under their glares. Taeyang says, "You and CEO Samjeon Young are both going to be held responsible for what you've done." The next day, the entire news cycle is dominated by just one story. Samjeon Entertainment bribed reporters to publish negative articles and bullied their own actors. CEO Samjeon Young is arrested. Reporters are shouting questions. "Mr. CEO, is it true you ordered the negative press? Why did you do it? What about the controversy involving threats to your own actors?" Samjeon Young yells, "I don't know anything about this. I said I don't know." Cut to Seongguk's dad, shocked as he hears all this. The director says, whatever issues Michael had, Taeyang's going to take full responsibility. He'll bring him to apologize and even offer to cover the hospital bills. Our team will contribute too. Then the director adds angrily, "If you feel like taking further action, just let us know anytime. Honestly, I should have punched Michael myself." But Seongguk's dad says, "It's all right. Thanks to all this, you gave us a really nice private room. Our whole family is together, and Seongguk's recovering well. We don't need anything else, as long as the bad rumors go away." The director smiles. "Got it. Don't worry. After the interview, everything got back on track." Meanwhile, those same girls from earlier say, "Looks like people misunderstood Seongguk's family. They were just tricked by bad people. I feel so ashamed." Now we see tons of support pouring in for Seongguk's family. The director says, "The manager and I will take care of cleaning everything up." He means they're going after the reporters who went too far. Then the director adds, "We're also thinking of taking a 2-month break. Seongguk's mom needs time to recover too." Jeon Ji-seong asks, "Is such a long break really okay?" The director replies, "We've already got some footage stored. Don't stress. Just enjoy your time with your family." The narrator of Just Baby Show chimes in, "We'll see you again this spring, 2 months from now." Seongguk's mom asks, "Is Seongguk taking care of Mango?" Then we cut to a scene set 2 months later. Someone's watching the news. 2 anchors are chatting. Feels like the new year just started, and it's already March. Flowers are blooming too. Yeah, seeing them in full bloom really lifts your spirits. And it's not just flowers. We've got another good update, right? Everyone's favorite national baby, Seongguk, is coming back. Wait, is Just Baby airing again? You heard right. A broadcast update is coming soon. At that moment, a girl steps out of the shower and asks, "Honey, what are you watching?" The girl is Seyeonmi, and the man is Seongguk's father from his past life. Seyeonmi notices the screen and says, "That's Seongguk on TV." The chairman says, "You know this kid?" Seyeonmi replies, "Did you forget so soon? You even met him on that commercial shoot." The chairman nods. "Oh, right. I was just watching TV, and for some reason, couldn't take my eyes off this kid. There's something different about him. He's interesting." Seyeonmi sits on his lap and says, "Well, that's because he's a genius." "A genius?" he asks. "Yeah, Seongguk has all the qualities of a great actor. He's the kind of kid who can become anything in the future." The chairman says, "That good? Isn't he just another cute child actor?" Seyeonmi replies, "Honey, I may be popular because of your connections, but I do know how to spot talent. Plus, Samjeon Entertainment tried to use that kid for cheap publicity, and now they're paying for it." The chairman raises an eyebrow. "Samjeon Entertainment? You mean CEO Samjeon Young?" "Exactly. As always, they tried to take advantage of a rising child actor, and it came back to bite them. But aren't you signed with that agency too? I am. That's why I'm trying to end my contract and leave. The terms were pretty rough anyway, so I'm better off. So where will you go? Do you already have another agency in mind? Sayomi lights up. I have a fun idea and I'm planning to move forward slowly. But if you're interested, investing in Seongguk might not be a bad move. The chairman says thoughtfully, an investment? Not a bad idea. Next we cut to Seongguk's home. Kim So-young says, today's lunch is sweet soup. Here you go, Seongguk. Seongguk, thinking to himself, wow, it smells amazing. I didn't know our manager Kim was this good at cooking, then starts eating. She gives some to Mingguk too, who says, thanks again today. You always make food for us. Kim So-young replies, well, I am Seongguk's manager. It just comes naturally. Kim So-young says, but still, you never take any money from us, and you're always bringing food and fruit. Sayoung smiles gently and says, instead of talking, let's focus on eating. We're a family, aren't we? And as family, it's only natural I take care of you a little. Hearing this, Seongguk lights up happily in the cutest way. Then we hear his voice in the background, talking to his little brother. No, I said don't touch that. That's your brother's food. You only get milk. Kim So-young laughs and says, these days, Mingguk copies everything his brother says. That means he's following Seongguk well. She continues, since Mingguk follows him so closely, taking care of him should be a little easier. Hearing all that, Seongguk says, you're right, childcare. These past 2 months made me realize something. Taking care of kids is like living in hell. Please, Mingguk, just stop already. Mingguk is just giggling, but Seongguk looks totally worn out. We're shown a few scenes from before. Seongguk is asking, why does he cry all the time? Why won't he just sleep? Because of Mingguk, Seongguk can't sleep either. Frustrated, he thinks, why is he always looking for me? I only went to the bathroom. Basically, Mingguk is obsessed with his big brother. Seongguk says, all I wanted was a sibling different from my last life. Someone who could be like my servant? No, I mean loyal follower in the future. He's lying. He really did want a servant. Right now, Mingguk is looking at his brother with so much love that Seongguk starts sweating. Seongguk says, Mingguk, just stop already. But Mingguk looks so cute that Seongguk gives in and says, crying a little, okay, fine. Just for today, I'll feed you myself. Please grow up soon. Watching them, Sayoung and Kim So-young both laugh. Sayoung says, one kid taking care of another. Kim So-young adds, yeah, and because of Seongguk, it's actually been easier for me. There's no more obedient child than our Seongguk. Sayoung then says, Seongguk, have you thought about moving to a new house? Seongguk looks a little surprised. Sayoung continues, now that you've got 2 kids, it might sound funny coming from your landlady, but honestly, this house is too old and small to raise kids in. Kim So-young says, but we don't really have the money right now. Sayoung turns a little serious and says, what if the money came to you? Kim So-young looks surprised. Sayoung leans in and says, Samjeon Electronics contacted me. They want to make Seongguk their exclusive model. Kim So-young is shocked. Exclusive model? For Samjeon? Well, her reaction makes sense. Samjeon is one of the top companies in the world. Sayoung calmly says, yes, they made the offer and said they'll send over detailed contract terms soon. Talk to Jeon Ji-seong about it too. If you forgot, Jeon Ji-seong is Seongguk's dad. And honestly, I forgot too. Sayoung adds, this is a huge opportunity. Kim So-young looks a little worried. Sayoung says, but for now, let's eat. Don't forget, we still have to go to the broadcasting station later. Seongguk says, I didn't forget. Like the director said, today's the first just baby meeting after 2 months. Sayoung adds, they said they'll send a car to pick us up, so no need to rush. Just then, someone arrives at the gate. Sayoung starts walking toward it, saying, are they here already? Meanwhile, a tired Seongguk walks over to his mom. Sayoung opens the gate and hears someone say, it's been a while. She's shocked and says, Michael? Both Sayoung and Kim So-young look at him. It's Michael standing there, and apparently, he's had a glow-up in just 2 months. Everything falls silent. Seongguk steps in front of his mom and says to Michael, what are you doing here? Inside, Seongguk is thinking, Michael, the one who betrayed my family with Samjeon, what are you thinking coming here? Don't tell me you're here for revenge or to hurt us again. But something's off. Michael actually looks a bit sad. Then Taeyang shows up from behind and smiles, saying, hey, it's been a while. Seongguk's mom is surprised to see him too. Taeyang says, looks like Michael scared you. We've been wanting to see Seongguk again and brought the car too, so this guy could apologize properly. Then he looks at Michael and says, go ahead. Michael says, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Seongguk, fuming inside, thinks, you really think an apology is enough? But his mom says, "Thank you for apologizing. I'm sure you have your reasons." Seongguk is shocked to hear that. His mom continues, "I hope we can work well together again."